on 7. My name is Renata Samuels-Kai.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Kevin Mendes. Welcome to your Friday episode of Sunup on 7. Thank you so much for welcoming Renata into your space. Ren, let's tease and what can they expect on today's show?
Excitement is coming. A very important conversation about swimming and a camp that's coming up very soon. So definitely for everybody that wants to swim, knows to swim, but wants to enhance their capabilities and all that good stuff. This is a really great conversation for you. But what else do we have?
What else do we have, Red? For all women entrepreneurs, it's a great opportunity for you to benefit from funds to catalyze your business. Today we're going to discuss about that opportunity also.
All that and so much more. You know how this works. Put your comments in the comment section. May live, interactive, fun, and respectful. Of course!
Yes.
Shall we get to the couch?
Let's do it.
Answer that's worth looking for today. Just in time,
and he's here to talk to us
the
about
writing appears on the first ones to see.
And we're going to be talking about the hot shush that has been happening.
The world that we see may seem that will never change. They say, but if you tear down the wall that's blinding us all, you'll see the way today. A place to call your home, a place where you can grow. Stand by me and we'll take flight. We'll be there at morning's light. I've got you covered on all concerns we share today. You'll discover how the world turns each day. When the sun comes up.
Muy buenos dias, beautiful Sunup on 7 family. It's Friday. We thank you so much for joining Renata and I in today's episode. We're going to have a very, very fun one. Before we get into it, let's bring you the weather, and that's courtesy of the Belize Med Service.
Good morning. Mainly fair weather conditions prevail. The 24-hour forecast is for skies to be mostly sunny today and clear to partly clouded tonight with isolated showers. High temperatures today will be 86 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 91 inland and 80 up in the hills. Low temperatures tonight will be 78 degrees Fahrenheit along coastal areas, 70 inland and 65 up in the mountains. The winds will be from the east and northeast at 5 to 10 knots and the sea conditions will be slight. A low tide will occur at 8:59 this morning, followed by a high tide at 3:37 this afternoon. The sun rose at 5:40 this morning and will set at 6:07 this evening. The moon will set at 12:03 this afternoon and will rise at 1:32 tomorrow morning. The outlook for Saturday and Saturday night is for mainly fair weather with only isolated showers. And this concludes this morning's weather report prepared by the National Meteorological Service.
That is our weather.
That is our weather. It's Friday, Ren. How is your energy today?
It is good. Yesterday I was like struggling a little bit. I wasn't feeling that well. And today I think I feel a lot more refreshed. Still not to feel 100%, but we're at like a 75, 80,
okay, all right.
which is okay, because like you don't always have to be at 100, which I always remind people. You
and
don't
100
always...
looks different every time too, right? So you're 75% that you say today, that's your 100% for today.
Exactly.
Yeah, so thank you so much for sharing that with us today.
And how are you feeling, Boo? You
I'm feeling excellent. Yeah, I really like this shirt.
Is it also? No, I try to remember, because at this point, if he pull up to the shirt, I'm just going to ask him, Brazil?
Yeah, this is from Brazil
See,
also.
okay.
I went to the market and I just went and I just like picked really...
Because I know I haven't seen this before. before. You know,
Yeah, and I was like, and I'm
I
like, this
see your
says
shirts.
this says Kevin, you know?
It does.
Yeah.
And I would think you would have a socks.
No,
to
because
match
the
it,
shirt
babe.
is the accent today.
I feel like you can have two accents, babe, because you're just one of those people that you could do it. You could pull it off if anybody else.
I appreciate that, Ren.
So next time we're gonna see a popping socks with
maybe.
this amazing shirt, and we're gonna be like, Kev's a vibe. And by that time, he might have his hair dyed too. We didn't even know.
Ooh, I love it.
A lot.
Yes, there's a lot going on in my life.
I put a lot of pressure on Kevin just now. But yeah.
But definitely, it's Friday, and we're very excited about today, just in general. And we wish everybody's joining today. You know, let us know how you're feeling, what you're celebrating. If there's anything we can join you on, for sure. If there's any announcements that you would like for us to make on your behalf, we would absolutely love to do that today. But thank you so much for your company. We truly appreciate you joining us if you're watching via Facebook, YouTube, or cable TV. Right.
And people are also saying that they love your shirt, Kev,
thank
and
you.
that they need the socks too.
I love the love.
They're like there's a whole trend with Kevin's socks at this point. But
Awesome.
definitely, we're brightening up on a bright up on a Friday morning.
Friday morning.
With all of the good stuff there, with all of the creoles, not your Kev?
All the Creoles, them, yeah. Because we're rehearsing for After Dark, which is taking place May 8th and 9th at the Bliss. And reading Creole is just a tongue twister. And my gosh, I have to like laugh internally at being able to.
And this helps you to learn it. What other way to learn a language than to be like trust upon it and just be like, okay,
Yeah.
I gotta figure it out. And Creole is just such a beautiful language, man. Goodness.
Definitely,
So definitely. Can't wait, guys. Remind you, mark your calendars, May 8th and 9th. They were on yesterday, but they're gonna be on again sometime coming up very soon to make sure you go to the Bliss and support. It's supporting Haven House and a very worthy cause. And of course, Brandon and Kevin are in this place. So
Quite a treat.
yeah, quite a treat.
Quite a treat.
So.
But let's get going into our couch talk because what a great couch talk for a Friday, I have to say. You know, like
I like it.
It's gonna be spicy. So the first topic that we're gonna talk about, Ren, is CEO Amalia Mai on the outs of foreign affairs?
So Minister Fonseca was interviewed about this, and he was tight-lipped on it. He was saying, you know, that is a matter for the office of the Prime Minister. For the Prime Minister, something would take place. It would come from his office. He's not at liberty to basically say. So basically, he did say, I can't tell you what to go on. That's not my part to tell to be continued if it's going to be taking place.
If there's one thing we know, if that not so, then nail is so,
That
right?
nail is so too. And so the shift, or the possible shift of maybe having her out of that ministry is something on the pipeline that people are wondering. We do know that it was mentioned that she had gotten a one-year contract, and that this one-year contract is now coming to the end. And so is it a thing where it's going to be renewed? Is it a thing that it's not going to be renewed? But I will also put a little something in, right,
What is
Kev?
that? Wali pepper sauce.
So if it is in fact a thing where CEO Mai is then removed, right? Or she leaves because her contract is over, will there also be another shift in CEOs? Because, and I put this on the table because very often you see, like, when we have one removed, they don't try to do it just like that. They try to like at least shift up and kind of put something along the line and say we wanted to do a shift and we wanted to put new meat, fresh face or whatever it is, new blood or whatever it is in, and you see a shift. So is that gonna be something that, if this is happening, that would happen too? And like, how would that shift even look?
That's a great thing to look out to if indeed CEO Amalia Mai does leave her position at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. You know, like we know that for years she has been involved with the
she came in from
UP
2020.
administration in different, you know, positions. But as Minister of Foreign Affairs shared, Mr. Fonseca, that this is up to the office
Prime
of the
Minister.
government and the Prime Minister to decide if she's going to stay or not. I wonder what that would look like, you know, in terms of like, will he still keep her there?
And where would she be in a
Will the Minister of Foreign
position?
Affairs advocate for her contract to be renewed for her to stay? You know, like, there's many little
There's
things
questions
to
of like what's
play.
happening under the ground internally. What I also want to think, Kevin, like, you know, correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
If she would be moving from this position with everything that's taking place globally, the position of CEO for Foreign Affairs to me is gonna be a hard one to fill because, of course, they play catch up.
Yeah.
To get involved in everything that Belize is involved in right now, to be a part of all those bilaterals that already passed, and to like get equipped with it. I know they have amazing ambassadors and so forth working at Foreign Affairs, but just again to get that person, if there is a person that's going to be replacing her, up to standards and up to par, is going to be a task in itself because
is
there's
true.
just a lot going on right now.
It will definitely require a great skill set, you know, in terms of like negotiation, in terms of like advocacy, in terms of diplomacy, to be able to conduct this job, as you mentioned, given the current climate of geopolitics that's taking place. You know, some people in the comments are saying that they feel like they already have somebody that's going to replace her. You know,
And they are very strategic in that sense, where they would not remove somebody from anywhere if they didn't have somebody to put
well,
there.
that never did happen with the.
Which one? Tell me the
with
story.
the security, national security. Remember
That
we had a
true.
CEO for a while, just unsure who was going to take that position.
That's true, you're right.
So
and then
it's
who
not
would
always
be
been
interim?
so.
Yeah,
such a
you're
smooth
right.
transition.
You're right. You're right. Because normally they have the people where names to get thrown out at least. Where because say maybe Kevin and Brandon might be good in this position, but then it's the time to take that position too if it come. Because remember, I could like Kevin and Brandon, but somebody else don't like Kevin and Brandon. And this is the internal politics of these positions that people don't understand always. It's not necessarily always about competency and everything. Sometimes it goes along with political loyalists and who like this one and who could work with this one, and then the meshes have to come together. So there's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes that we don't necessarily know about.
Right. And a comment here that says is that CEOs should be eliminated, period. You know, because the amount of money that's getting invested in keeping, you know, the salaries of CEOs and all the amenities that come with it, it really is a burden on public purse too. So, should CEOs still even continue in their capacity? That's a great question too.
You know, it's a question to look at because, you know, CEOs as compared to other countries would be considered like one of the vice ministers in a country when you look at it, because they're right after the minister. And so I think of like the directors, all the amazing technical persons that are working on the scene, that are really doing the heavy lifting, that are making sure that things are happening under the scene. But like the bridge and the gap of how you kind of gauge it, because that's kind of one of the roles of the CEOs, to be able to bridge the gap and kind of be that person that pulls in all the information, like a middleman, if you want to call it in that sense.
Because they're the ones with the more technical skills to be able to conduct the job of the ministry too, you know. But again, is CEO Amalia Mai going to leave her position at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs? That is still unconfirmed.
We don't know.
But it's the conversation that's taking place, you know, in the corner. So we're going to follow up on that and hopefully have an update for you very
Rather
soon.
than say he to put his hat in, if that's
I
the
know, I
case.
love how he's advocating for himself to be the CEO of Ministry of Foreign Affairs. All right, Brandon, I see you. I think you will do an
You have your
excellent
political ties, B? You have a political ties? Because honey bun, she might need it.
job. Right, well, let's move on to our next Couch Talk topic. And so if you are somebody that commutes via water taxi, the two main water taxi operators, San Pedro Belize Express and Caribbean Sprinter, they have put out public notice where they share an increase in their taxi fares. The question now is this legal? So, of course, we contacted the Belize Port Authority where they said they have received a notice of these intended price increase. At the moment, they said it's unauthorized, and they are looking into like how can they holistically, you know, ensure that both the person providing the service and the consumers are taken into account in this increase in fares. So at the moment, they said it's unauthorized. But
what will stop people from actually be charged these fees? And this is the thing that I don't think a lot of times people understand. Like, there's one thing to say something, but enforcement is something that we lack in our country. So same thing with like the bus fares there. The reality is you could tell that, you know, we can't do this, but if a conductor there and you can't come on this bus, if you don't pay me my $10 instead of the $8 where you think you normally made it pay, on a bunch of odds, I need to catch my bus. So I will have to pay this thing, and I'll be upset and I'll rumble and maybe put up Facebook post or whatever it is. So how do we ensure that enforcement takes place? Is there going to be somebody like a security guard, somebody that's right there waiting to see like what the fees are going to be charged for you? Because I know that at least with the water taxes, in that sense, there's only two. Really. So you don't have to worry about this widespread yourself. You can really have somebody enforce it there. It's not as hard to keep that under the wraps.
yeah, I can see that. I can see that where there can be, you know, I guess a little bit of like monitoring from the Belize Port Authority at this water taxi terminals to ensure that they are not charging people the amount that they put in their press releases. What the companies are saying is that this is a temporary increase given the surge in fuel prices. So it's 2 months, they're saying. Will it go down after 2 months? Will the price of fuel go down after 2 months?
We talk about a whole bread for that one.
Exactly. So like, it's an interesting take right here, but definitely we can see how the global cost of price of the barrel for fuel is affecting our sector here. So at the moment, the Belize Port Authority again says this is an unauthorized increase in taxi fare, but
And you know what?
See what comes up in this
I
negotiation.
get irritated with all of these different places in this, not the persons that are doing the new charges, but you know, the government and everybody that are responsible to have conversations with these persons that are providing these services. Because if you know fuel to go up, automatically this means that the cost of production, cost to run any service has to go up. Why are we not being proactive enough to say, Kevin, I know you operate in this business, it's a public transportation, it's something that people use. Let's have a conversation ahead of time to make I talk about the prices went up. This is happening globally, right? Make a meet with you and say, how can we deal with this instead of now having people post up this thing and then they're like, well, it never authorized or so forth. And I understand that, but we also have to understand times are changing and we need to be quick with it. So it's like, is this a priority? Or is it just because we're not accessing these services like that, you know, bother me till after the fact?
Right. I can also that's a great point, Ren. I can also see where there's a disconnect between like these service providers and the monitoring authority, because you're saying we found out about this release, it's unauthorized. So it's like, where was the consultation?
I didn't tell you nothing.
Exactly. I don't tell you
I was like,
nothing. You know, like, you know that the price of fuel is increasing, but you are not bringing me to the table and see like, how can we mitigate the situation? You know, nothing like that is going on. So definitely it calls for a better cohesion among these service providers and the respective authority that's monitoring them to ensure that, as they mentioned in the conversation, not to holistically approach the situation, that both service providers and consumers, you know, are taken into account in the decision that they're going to make.
A lot is happening and we have to be a lot more proactive. We have to have more meetings, conversations, and let people know on both sides, how can we go and pivot with what's happening? Because we don't know if fuel prices, even though there has been that shift, if that's going to be shifting into our country or just be a stay and hold right there until further notice.
Right.
We don't know what's happening, but we do know that people are being affected, and this is employers and consumers.
Right. So we're going to wait to see if there's going to be like any official statement coming from the Belize Port Authority as regards to this proposed increase in taxi fares for anybody that's commuting via water taxis to Belize City. But let's move on to our next Couch Talk topic. And something that people have been wondering is what's going to be the fate of the Cuban doctors that are currently in Belize. There's, according to Minister Francis Fonseca, there's about 92 Cuban doctors that are here in country. Or at least
92 Cuban health workers,
healthcare
and
workers.
45 of them are
Thank you for
specifically
that correction.
doctors.
Yes. 92 healthcare providers are here in Belize. And, you know, like, so given the U.S. government's pressure, you know, to send back these Cuban medical providers back to their country, what is Belize's take on this? It has been in limbo.
Still being
Again, there is
discussed.
still in limbo. There's no final decision. Minister Francis Fonseca said that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Ministry of Health and Wellness are in conversations with the Cuban government to find out if there's any legal way of still keeping the healthcare providers in country. Because for one, it's acknowledged the great contribution that these medical
Really
providers
amazing
play
relationship
in
between these
our
countries.
health system.
Yeah.
Right? If they go, they leave a great fast
Especially
meal.
for rural communities, you're thinking about all of that, how far-reaching this is.
Yeah.
What is also important to note from that conversation, Minister Fonseca stated that the contracts have expired, and like so that is also a big thing to look at. So it had to be reevaluated either way. And considering the shifts and the pressure that's taking place, like you mentioned before, from the U.S. government, it's so much different factors at the same time, and ongoing discussions are still taking place. But there is that push, and I know the minister did mention that, you know, there is that push to maintain the presence in the national health system for the Cubans. It's just how do you come to the point to do so? And that is the big question I feel like they are pondering to see how you make it mesh. Because again,
Yeah. I really hope that in the decision that they're going to come forward with is that they take into account that these doctors meet the basic need of healthcare access.
100%.
Right? Taking into account that not everybody has the money to go and pay for a specialized care at a private facility. These Cuban medical providers, they contribute, you know, in rural spaces, in polyclinics, being there providing that service, right? So it's like, how do we take into account our people? Clearly, the U.S. government, even reflecting on their current state in the U.S., they are not worried about their people, right? They're worried about fuel and this international politics. So I hope our government takes into account our people and our access to health.
yeah, because access to health is very limited, as we know, and it's not that affordable for a lot of persons. Even though we have the NHI, And we're going to get into that later on, but, you know, even just to go to NHI, sometimes the lines for persons to be able to wait, at times to be able to be served, sometimes access to the medication is not as affordable, or not affordable, not available, sorry, sometimes at the NHI that the person would need, so they have to be referred to the actual, you know, private entity or so forth. So it's just a lot to just think about when it comes to how much access and how this could affect if the case that we can't make it mesh. We can't make it happen for our Belizeans, our rural communities, our country in general.
Yeah.
So we're gonna keep you updated. And of course, I'm hoping to see negotiations take place and something positive comes out of this.
I agree.
And then
Let's
we move on.
to our next Couch Talk topic, Ren.
And so we spoke about a while back about how the MCC grant funds that were given and taken back and then reevaluated has, you know, come to fruition. We know that things are taking place, and we know that there has been a shift in the allocation of these funds. And the shift looks at first, originally the shift was at 80% that it was going to be deemed towards education, and then 20% towards energy. And now there's a shift of 60% towards education and 40% towards energy. And that leaves about 20 million USD dollars that is being moved over to energy that was once allocated for education. And so how will that affect the overall vision of what education is supposed to look like? What is the plan to kind of like put in place for those funds that were already going to be allocated? Plans don't really happen already, because you don't know how this go. Once we get what grant, people don't start spending money in their mind. And you know that's true, Kevin, because guess what? Like it or not, if you get in our consultancy and
I was choking my coffee just now.
tell me they're not true, and tell me they're not true. All I know, when one to get a
this ghost
consultancy,
money, right?
don't know to get this money. So don't start planning and say, well, I will buy this, I will do this, I will that, I will pay that, I will get this, and then
Actually, that happened because there were people that, when the initial grant was signed, people rescinded their position to go and work here and all of these things, and then the grant was put on hold, and people
it's
that
like,
had moved forward to work on this MCC grant, they end up jobless, or they end up like with an uncertainty of their employment, right?
Hot tamales.
Sorry for cut you short.
No, baby, don't tell me. That's true. I mean, like that
happen.
point.
Yeah.
So again, things were planned, and now it's like, how do you move forward with this? We do know, and I will also make mention, because I mean, a lot of people know in the funding spaces that the U.S. government, with the new administration, they're not very big fans of the light of education as being something fully funded in that sense. So we do also note that to even have education still get that 60% and it not be a different number too is still a win. I will say that, because it could be less. And I'm glad to see at least we were able to maintain 60% of the grant for education and 40% for energy. And I want to look at it in a positive manner, in the sense that energy is something that we do know is a big conversation happening in our country. We've been facing enough with it going on when it comes to Mexico and the ties, and then sometimes we get those power surges, power outages, and all these different things. And I do want us as a country to pivot ourselves in a way, or position ourselves in a way that we can manage energy in a more proficient manner and open up doors for that. So I do think that this is a win. Even though it was a loss, it can still be a win in how we navigate this.
Yeah,
the funds.
no, definitely.
I mean, the money is still to come.
It will be interesting to see how they strategically use these funds to, again, meet the desired outcomes that they had for education, but how now, given that there is a shift in energy, you know, how does that look like? This was a great point that we're still navigating that uncertainty about our sustainability with energy. You know, given our dependency with Mexico, given our, you know, our dams and the conditions that they're at, you know, climate change is very present in the supply of the dams. How does that look like? So we're gonna stay tuned to see how the government goes about unfolding this MCC grant.
Most definitely. I would love to hear a conversation of like what is really being put in place, how is that materializing, how will that look? Because it's important to see how these
I think we're gonna
monies are
find
spent.
a press statement, you know.
Kevin, we never ever get like a real conversation.
Sorry, honey, no. Maybe in 2027.
Kevin's like, it's wishful thinking, babe. Don't hold your breath. Just like
don't
people
hold
want to
your
hold their breath for this fuel prices to go down. Honey.
Yes.
You know what? I want to be proven wrong. I wouldn't want we to talk like this and then next week, thing go down. Prove me wrong, please. I wish the government would. So, but we move on into our
last topic, and this one is, you know, we
raised a lot of concerns. Facebook posts, Facebook releases when it comes to businesses putting up like what is the stance, what's taking place.
So we're going to put the question to you, the viewers that are watching via Facebook Live. How do you feel that now contraceptives, you need prescriptions for you to be able to access them? Oof. You know, this is something that took place, apparently like negotiations and this decision took place about 6 weeks ago. And we're recently finding out about this, which is ridiculous. You know, like 6 weeks takes place and we find out through Facebook posts that, you know, now people need prescriptions to be able to access contraceptives. Well, the Ministry of Health and Wellness, they put a press statement. Rather than having a meaningful consultation, you know, like press conference where this can be discussed to really find out the intention behind this. The Ministry of Health on their press statement shared that, sorry, I got distracted by a comment.
I know, my same thing, man, Kev. Continue on with the Ministry of Health.
Yeah, they put out a press statement in saying that contraceptives, but also like other medications require, you know, prescription for you to be able to access them, given, you know, at least like in the regard of contraceptives, given the effects that they may have on an individual. So these need to be properly monitored and there needs to be like a proper catering towards it meeting the individual needs of people.
Yeah.
From the concept of person-centered care, I can see where their press statement makes sense in the regard that it says, whenever somebody comes to access, you know, a prescription for contraceptive, it's an invitation for you to like screen for other things which may be affecting the individual, which is very good, right? Because if they go to a pharmacy, you're unable to capture if they have any STIs, if they're on a recent pap smear,
100%.
all of these things, which around person-centered care, it works. But the thing here, Ren, is for years we've been advocating for access to sexual and reproductive health services, which contraceptives are a big part of it. Now that you have to get a prescription for it, rather than it, I can see where you can say, we can cater better to your needs to ensure that you're taking it well, but how many people will get affected by this in terms of like, do I have the money and the time to go and sit down? We know how the reality of our clinics are, right? Where you may have to sit down for 5 to 6 hours for you to get one prescription. How many people have that luxury of doing that?
And that time to be able to do that, like, and of course, this is what was posted by the Ministry of Health. This is also a notice that was posted by Broadis that has made mention to let everybody know that that this is something that has taken place from a long time ago when it comes to prescription, but it's not properly being enforced now, and that they have to adhere to it too. So please make mention that when it comes to all of their pharmacists, they will be adhering to contraceptives. Well, in general, these over-the-counter medications are not longer over-counted that require prescription. But Kev, coming to what you're saying, I think it's a really hard place for many individuals to be in. And I think about the aspect of, like you said, time, money, resources in that sense to be able to spend time to get a refill. Not every doctor is going to be giving you a refill. I know the Ministry of Health said that refills can go up to 12 months. And I know that I've been able to be privy and privileged to doctors that give me refills for up to an amount of times where I can actually just WhatsApp them and they can be able to send me my prescription and I just go and pick it up. I don't have to do a consultation. I've been privileged enough for that. Not everybody has that same stance and not everybody has the same doctors that I have when it comes to these different things.
Right.
And that is a reality that we have to understand, that there will be doctors that say, no, you have to come back again. I can tell you, let me see how it's working with your body. And I understand that too from a medical standpoint. But I'm also thinking about, and I can tell you about situations where I know in rural communities specifically that don't necessarily have the access to go into an NHI every minute, go into a private medical institution every single time, and they need the access to contraceptives where they have to actually have it hidden underneath the ropes to be able to take these contraceptives.
No,
and so I'm looking at all the
so
aspect
true.
where persons that, you know, they can't make this a big thing and they have to do it under the rope. So when they're getting that over-the-counter contraceptives, it's because they done the thief chance. If I go buy this thing, now I have to try thief chance to go to a doctor, get prescription, then go and try buy this thing when I done made a struggle already from my husband knowing. And I tell you, these are real stories that I know about where women would like to not be able to have children, would like to plan and just be able to not have to deal with that because they've had so many children before and they're now subjected to what will I do with my over-the-counter?
Yeah, this is a serious blow to women's rights. It's a serious blow from patriarchy and capitalism on women. I feel like I really feel for women in terms of like, y'all are already burdened with the task of reproduction because how they see women is like you are a reproduction vessel, right? Now you have to take these contraceptives, which affect you in so many ways. It's hormones you're taking. Nobody talks about how bloated you are, the body changes that you're gonna go through. You take your contraceptives, the hormonal changes that come with it. You have the responsibility of taking it every day to ensure that you are monitoring, how much children we have in the country. And I'm like, and now you have to take the time to go and see a doctor, get a prescription, take a bus, go somewhere, pick up your... I am like, what more do we want our women to do? Right? And at the same time, it's like we're thinking about Belize has the highest adolescent fertility rate. What does that mean that now people have to go and access a prescription to be able to access a contraceptive? People may not go ahead and do that. Will we have more babies? Will we have more single parents? We are ready to struggle with the social issues of, more parenting, proper parenting, healthier spaces. And now we have to acknowledge that we're sexual beings as humans, right? But what are we doing in providing young people a proper, comprehensive sexuality education to know how do I go ahead, monitor my body, be autonomous about my decisions regarding my sexual health? That is not happening within the education system. So that's a fail there. And now, like, accessing contraceptives is another fail. So I'm like, what else are we gonna do to monitor, to police women? What else are we gonna do for our students, for our young people? It really has me like, this is rather than saying we're progressing in a great way, we are
taking steps back. And I want to look at this one, and it goes into what you're saying, Kev, where Blazing Gal is saying, are women getting physicals to check if birth control is not affecting other organs? And I think that's a perfect point because, again, I look at what the Ministry of Health posted and I don't see that, they don't have a good stance of saying that there should be certain checks that take place before taking a birth.
Of course, because Chandra and Nisbet also saying
yes,
something.
100%. Like, there should be a check when it comes to that. But I'm saying now, if I've gotten the check, and like I know that this is the one that works in my body because maybe it regulates me, because we do know that there are persons that have irregular periods and so forth, and I need to take contraceptives to be able to keep it regulated. It helps with certain other medical symptoms, and I think this Miss Karen is saying that too as well, that people are sick that do need to take contraceptives. So I'm just saying, on those premises too, how are we able to allow them to continue be able to buy? Yeah. Without any problem? Is it up to 12 months for children? Yeah. What is going to be the shift in when it comes to getting access to the prescription for persons, and how much people are able to get
what
that?
Happens if you do not have access to contraceptives, right? We will have more persons getting pregnant. And unfortunately, Belize, and it's another hot topic as it regards to abortions, to be able to access proper abortion services. We do not have that in country, and we know that many people go and they do clandestine access to abortion services, or they go and they do something which harms you more than doing any good to you, right? So are we gonna look after these situations where women are putting themselves in danger because they were unable to access proper contraceptives? It really sets this in a domino effect, which is not putting us in a great place. And my last question is who came up with this decision, right? Is it only men that came up with this decision? Which I am but also were there women involved in this decision-making process? And what was their rationale behind doing this? It really for me, it does not sit well, because we've been advocating for years for access to sexual reproductive health services of young people, of people in general, and this is...
Because we have to look at exactly when it comes to family planning and having these things in place. If you take out that barrier of being able to provide that for a person that maybe have to do this under the wraps and be able to protect themselves, how do you then now account for unplanned pregnancies? People are talking about here, and it's a hard pill to swallow, but the question is, thank you so much, Michelle, for saying this, is will we have more illegal abortions if that's the case?
Exactly.
Will that take place? And so these are the things that you have to ask when it comes to it, because it's bigger than just yes, I check my body and everything, but there's with every action there is a reaction that comes from it, some consequence that comes from it, good or bad. And yes, you can say that maybe it's trying to allow for persons to check their body, and I don't have a problem with that any at all, because as women we need to have that responsibility. But we look at the education system that doesn't necessarily, the education system doesn't necessarily push enough for reproductive health education for persons to understand what will these contraceptives really be doing to my body if I do it. What are the best ones to be able to know? Should I be able to go to the doctor and have a conversation? What age should I be doing that? Like all these different questions should be asked. We're not necessarily getting the education system, and then now you're left with persons buying things over the counter, which I know they're trying to stop, but it's like, if we stop this now, what then will happen when it comes to our teenage pregnancy rates too?
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people will say, well, maybe they'll stop have sex. The reality is, honey bunches of oats. That is not. No, because that's
No.
silly. But that's the thing, because a lot of people will ignorantly say, well, men just
Abstain.
they just say, abstain, stop have sex, blah blah blah, etc. This teach them to do this or so. But the reality is, it will not teach them, because people, as you know, have free will and will decide to do whatever they want to do, and that now means possibly unprotected sex because of not going in to get contraceptives, because of not having a prescription, or maybe getting a prescription but not having a time to do the refill, or not whatever it is along that line. So I'm just looking at the barriers that might come now from that.
Yeah, my last point here is that, okay, so they will have to go for a refill for a prescription to get a refill. And based how this NHI system works, as far as I know, is that you get paid per person that you see, you know? So if there's more people coming to get prescription, does that mean that the institution also gets more money? Could that be a thing? Could this be a money-making scheme?
Baby boo, I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Yes.
Man, imagine you to pay, what, $80, $60 for come and just get what prescription for your birth control. Then you have to go pay birth control on top of that. I hope to give it for the 12-year, the 12-month. Because I know that that's one of the things that they said.
Recommendation, yeah.
Up to 12 months, but I'm just like, we're going to see how it goes.
Yeah, so we thank you for the comments that you're making. You know, definitely people are connected in terms of like there needed to be proper consultation in this decision that the government took as regards to like prescription for contraceptives. I clearly see 100% where you're saying, okay, it's medication, people need to be properly monitored to ensure that they're getting the best service. I get that. It's a great entryway for people to be able to, you know, get monitored for other things. Perfect. But in terms of, is it the reality of how our society is in terms of like, the service is there, but coming to access the service is going to be a challenge, right? And the reality is how many people feel safe going to talk to the doctor about getting contraceptives. They'd rather go to a pharmacy because you're not going to ask me so many questions.
Or if you gone for your checkup with your husband or somebody and he know why you have birth control, but you want birth control, and how you do that conversation, because there are persons that do go to the doctor, but then they can't have that conversation with the doctor alone because they get monitored and policed by other persons. We have to remember the realities out there.
Yeah. So again, it's the reality that we're discussing, that it's not matching. It's not matching. But again, just focusing last thing on this press statement coming from Brody's, it's just saying that this is not a new regulation in regards to like whenever you go and access your medication, you will need to provide a prescription. This is not new. Rather than the Ministry of Health and Wellness, it's just being more strict about properly, you know, following your drugs that need prescription for you to be able to get them. At the end of the day, it's a matter of ensuring that everybody's health and well-being is being monitored. But yeah, so I just feel for women, you know, like, and this is not me mansplaining, you know, because I'm like, I see the reality of like my girlfriends and what they go through, like, and I am like, now you have to make line.
And I will say, for persons that talk about the fornication, I understand you to talk about that and whatever it is, but I will look at, again, I have been in situations where I know married women that now want to make that choice because they've had 5 children. And I'm not saying like they just had one and they want to stop or whatever. They have multiple children, they're tired, and their husband still wants them to continue. And the only way that they can maybe get the out is having contraceptives under the table. And of course, there's an underlying issue from all of those things, but you also look at the fact that they're in rural communities that have a different set of rules
and things. No, like there's intimate partner violence.
There's so much stuff to go. So I'm just saying, like, it doesn't only look at the idea for these young persons. I'm thinking about other persons in unfortunate situations that don't necessarily have that opportunity to be able to make the decision for themselves as how they would want because of other factors in place. It's bigger than just for children. It's bigger than just for young persons. So, yeah, it's just for me.
So advocates unite. We got to do something about this. And, you know, like, of course, I feel like you should talk about this, you know. In one way or another, you get affected. Yeah, I mean, they talk about dads with their daughters and what they're going through, right? If you care about their well-being and stuff, this is a conversation you should tap into. I remember a couple years ago when there was the removal of taxes for menstrual hygiene products,
yes.
right?
We're
And
going
we
to
were talking
stay on that again.
but it's like, okay, that was a win then, and look at this now. You know, it's just like,
We take one win and we take several losses.
yeah.
So,
but, I mean, that's another question right there, where the product's really tax exempted. But definitely, folks, we thank you. We come up to the end of our culture.
ooh, I just want to put a little.
Go for it. Yeah.
Brandon says here, and I like this comment because with protocols, with restrictions, always comes something in the black market, something in the undercover side, something on the side where it comes where he's saying, I can imagine the rise in birth control theirs now because of this. Because there will be persons trying their best to sell birth control, and will it be legit birth control? So then that's the one next story if you go. Because remember, not everything went under the ruts, the legit tested things too as well. So I don't know. It's just, it opens up a lot of doors for other things to happen in place beyond just teenage pregnancy, beyond persons now trying to do things under the covers.
Yeah. Where was the meaningful consultation? That's the question. But with that, again, we come to the end of our couch talk. Again, we need to talk more about this. Please, you know, like parents, you know, educate yourself about comprehensive sexual education. Engage with your children about it. You know, it's very important for them to have this knowledge, to know how they look after their well-being. At the end, it's not saying go and have sex. It's like, how do I look after my body? How do I make decisions appropriately?
You
how
have
do
to
I
know the
how to go
information
about
so you can make better
making
decisions.
relationships, making better decisions. Teachers advocate for students to be able to get comprehensive sexuality education. Political leaders, let's advocate for this, because I can see, again, contraceptives, the barrier that's placed now, but if you have the meaningful education, you can do something about it too.
Most definitely. You know what I'm also waiting for, Kev? Because this just become the role and everything going on, but has special envoy, women's commission, all these persons make any kind of statement about it. I'm looking to see for them that advocate for women's rights and the protection of women and so forth. I would want to see if they're gonna say, what are their stance on this? I don't know. I just dropped the ball there because when are we gonna speak up about it?
Yeah, for sure.
But guys, we have gone overtime.
Yeah, we have got overtime. This was I was looking forward to this couch talk.
I know you've been excited.
I
when it
was looking
comes-
forward to this couch
There's
talk.
certain topics that get Kevin around,
Yeah.
like transportation, my labor will go off with you. So health, Kevin going off you. Human rights, Kevin going off
Yeah,
you.
it's just, you know, like, I guess we got to feel for ourselves and people. In one way or another, we're going to get affected. But folks, we thank you so much for your contribution on our couch talk. Again, your perspective is highly valuable, and it just adds to the conversation that we want to have within our community spaces.
Most definitely.
So
And you
thank
could
so much.
disagree with us, 100%, that's totally fine. I'm just saying that, you know, we're reading comments, we're filtering through, and we're trying, this has to be a conversation. Should be a consultation. But that's what we have here, conversations about the topics to see how we feel. And of course, I would want to get guests on. I know Ms. Chandra is talking about we should be able to have more conversations with medical professionals about this, what it means, what it can look like too.
Yeah, for sure. So, link us up. Like we have this conversation.
Ms. Chandra, you want to come on?
Yeah,
Make we talk?
she's a
Because-
midwife. She's like, so like, why
There's
not?
a lot to know, and I want to know it too.
Yeah, I
Educate
feel
me,
like
because
it's very
I could
important.
stand to be corrected. That's how conversations work. Educate us. So,
Yeah.
with that, guys, we've come to the
Have a
ending
beautiful
of our
sunrise to
couch
share
talk.
with you. So let's cue in this sunrise. We're gonna see where it's from.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Michelle Sampson on her morning run.
Where
Captured
is this,
beautiful
Kevin?
photos. It is in the beautiful Bottomwood Bay that whenever you walk in the mornings, you find trash next to the seats.
Maybe a little
It is a
crocodile.
really sad situation. You
And-
know, like,
yes.
Bottomwood Bay is so beautiful and there's garbage all over the place. I'm like, people...
And the thing is, it's well trafficked. Like people
Exactly.
really use and utilize this area to walk, to take kids, to enjoy, to sit down and relax. I'm hoping you take more care of it. And thank you so much for the submission, Michelle. We truly appreciate it. This is
Thank
from
you.
Seashore Drive.
Yeah.
So with that, enjoy the beautiful sunrise on this Friday morning, the fantabulous Friday's goodness. And then we're gonna go to our first commercial break. When we come back, we have exciting conversations ranging from what is taking place with Catalyze, her potential project, and the registration details, everything these amazing women entrepreneurs need to know about. We're gonna also be talking about the swim clinic and so much more. Stay tuned.
It's
In Belize, some things aren't explained. They're passed down. Not because they're tradition, but because they've proven they work. When you work hard for what you have, you learn to protect it. And when the time comes, you pass that responsibility forward. Every generation faces new beginnings, but the choices that matter most are built on trust. For decades, Belizean families have relied on one place to protect their homes, their vehicles, and the lives they're building. When trust is passed down, you know it's been earned. For Belizean families, that trust has a name. RF&G Insurance. It pays to get it right.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corozal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years.
Welcome to the V Department Store. We are conveniently located on Coney Drive in Belize City. That's right on Coney Drive in Belize City. At the V Department Store, we offer a wide variety of groceries, cosmetics, kitchen appliances, kitchenware, electronics, and more. We've also recently expanded to the second floor to better meet your household and office furniture needs. We now have a wide variety of furniture, home decor, and accessories. We have a shared vision for a comfortable and customer-friendly shopping experience. Visit us today and be warmly greeted by our reasonable prices and cordial staff. The V Department Store. Experience the ultimate shopping destination.
These charter mints aren't from
We're
an
navigating
aquaplane.
along the coastline.
This morning,
of
the
northern
2023
Lagoon in the
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Sharice Halsell.
And here's what's ahead for you on 7 News Tonight. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight. Good evening with your news and the bureaucrat.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Wake up to positivity and inspiration. It's a fresh and diverse twist on your mornings. Tune in to Sunup on 7 every weekday morning at 6:30 a.m. right here on your Nation Station, Channel 7. It's the morning show you don't want to miss.
Muy buenos dias, beautiful Sun Up on 7 family. Welcome back to your Friday episode. Thank you so much for welcoming Renata into your space. If you're watching via Facebook, YouTube, or cable TV, it's a pleasure interacting with you. Let me just share that if you miss any of our conversations, you can always go back and watch our Facebook recorded live. And of course, stay tuned to our Facebook and Instagram pages to know who our guests and what conversations they bring forward to Sun Up on 7. One last thing, I encourage you to share our network with your community because we love to get the Sun Up on 7 family growing. Move on to our first conversation, and we have the International Network of Women in Business joining us on our couch. They have an exciting project called Catalyze Her Potential. They were going to find out what Catalyze Her Potential is about and how can you benefit from the opportunities that this project brings. Joining us on our couch, we have co-founder of NIME, Ms. Ronelli Requena, joining us. Ronelli, good morning.
Hi.
It's a pleasure having you on our couch because we've been talking about this project for a while. So
Yes.
good to have you here. How are you feeling today? How is your energy this Friday?
Good. We're in April. Oh my gosh.
You're in
Time
April.
going by fast.
But it's such a great month because we get to launch. We launched our project on the 31st of March, and now we actually have it going. A project that we have been talking about for a couple months, almost over a year.
Yeah.
And it's been a dream of ours since we established the NGO. So it's all coming to fruition, all the hard work. And what we love is that Nima is just 3 years old.
Right? And doing all this amazing things.
Yes.
When women come together, man, when women come together, it's a whole different ball game.
That's true. And looking out for each other too. That's
Yeah.
such a great thing. So I love that, this has been happening for months and here we are, the launch has happened and today we're going to talk about what everything is going to entail about, right? So let's put a pin there and let's introduce your project coordinator, Ms. Manuela Lu, joining us. Ms. Manuela, good morning.
Good morning.
How is your energy today from 1 to 10? It's Friday. What is it like?
It's about 10.
It's about 10.
Yes.
What?
Very exciting to be part of this project. We launched the project, as Renelli said, on March 31st. So a lot of activities coming up.
Yeah. What excites you the most about this project?
The support that the women share already and that the training that they're going to receive, it's just going to be amazing because it's going to help them to have their sales grow, their profits increase, they're going to be formalized. So
I love it.
I could imagine that.
Yep.
It's good to see that woman camaraderie, but also just to see everything and enhancement capacity. But before we get into all of the details for that, For people that are living on the rock for the past 3 years, Renelle, we need to give them some sunlight, give them some Nime goodness. Talk to them what is Nime for the organization aspect of what it is for people to understand.
So Nime Belize, which stands for International Network for Women in Business, we are an NGO that provides support for skills, resources, and opportunities for women-led businesses. Whether it's a startup, even if it's just an idea or an established business, we are here to provide that support for them at different capacities. But moreover, we have created a movement, a whole community. So usually we have different programs and different support groups for businesses. But what we saw was that the need for more of a sisterhood where when the program is done, okay, then I spend 6 weeks with you, but I don't get to see you again. So how are we able to still have that continuity with after projects and after these workshops? So Nime was filling that gap. And it's still filling that gap, where after all these programs, we're still able to have this community where you always have questions. When you have a business, you know, there's never a dull day.
No, there's always something coming out around.
Always something coming up, and then when having a business, there's always information, and that information is always changing, whether it's from these departments, like the tax department, the banks, the insurance, and even keeping up with trends for businesses. Right now we have social media, so that's a whole other thing. It could be a full-time job. And talking from experience, I have a business. This year we have 10 years.
Congratulations on that, Renelle. The breeze over that.
Yeah, the business is 10 years this month. And for me, I feel like I have a lot of experience
You do.
in the business field. So if I'm able to share from my experience to help another entrepreneur to not go through all the hurdles I went through, because honestly, I'm talking about it, it could be very expensive making mistakes in your business.
Right.
That's
But
true.
if I was to have a support group back then, I wouldn't have gone like half the stuff I went through when establishing the business. But I mean, it's a blessing in disguise. Now, I have all this information that I want to share. And what's beautiful about the community is that we have women from different entrepreneurial journeys. So they all have their little nuggets of wisdom to share, all their networking, and you post a question on the group chat, and best believe you're gonna get your answer by the end of the day.
Wow.
Someone knows someone has information, someone has been through the process and is ready to help.
I love that.
But more than a community, we're able to use our networking as founders, which we have 3 co-founders, and because we have all these women now, we have over 250.
I was just gonna ask, what is our membership? Like over 250.
Over 250. We have our paid members, and we have the Nime Circle. Since we have, you know, sometimes you're just starting, you're not figuring out what you want to do yet, but you still want to be part of the community. We have what we call the Nime Circle.
Okay.
So you're still getting that information, but yet, you know, we have those that are fully committed into the sisterhood, and really, I wouldn't say committed, but doing that investment for themselves and the building of their and the success of their business.
So we clearly celebrate the growth of Nime. Over 3 years, 250 members are joining. Now you're channeling, what was it, $400,000 into this project, which is huge.
Yes.
Yes. I want to ask you, given the network and the knowledge that has moved through these 3 years to Nime, this is a female-led or a female-focused project. And it's talking about addressing the challenges that women face in entrepreneurship. How, are the challenges different from women in comparison to male entrepreneurs? What are some of the key things that this project is going to be addressing?
Well, I gotta say thank you to all our supporters and all our stakeholders, those that have been with us since day one. We wouldn't have been where we're at, or qualifying for this amazing opportunity if it wasn't for them.
Right.
So we have the DFC, we have an MOU with them, we have partnerships with organizations like the Chamber of Commerce, we also have with Beltrade. So it's a whole network, whole ecosystem that have brought us here. This project here is funded by the IDB.
Right.
It's a 3-year project. So when it comes to challenges that women face, first of all, we gotta acknowledge the responsibilities that women have in their everyday lives, whether it's paid or unpaid, these work that they have. So we have so many hats. Some of them are mothers, full-time mothers. Some of them are caretakers. Some of them have their full-time jobs, but yet aspire to be entrepreneurs, and they're doing the whole thing. Blessings to them.
Yes.
They make it work. But
Blessings to y'all, you know. Like, yes.
they make it work, but we can't forget about the challenges. Even though as women we all make it look so easy, there are the challenges such as funding. That is one of the biggest.
Financing, yeah?
Yes,
Access
the
to
financing, one of like the top tiers. You ask any entrepreneur what's your biggest problem or your challenges, is gonna be the funding, access to funding, not just grants that are you don't have to give back, but even as small as going to the bank and getting a loan.
Because I don't know, has that changed? And maybe we're going a bit off tangent, but has that changed? Because I know like in the past, you needed your male partner to be there to like co-sign with you for you to be eligible for a loan. I'm not sure if things have changed, but I know that was a challenge that women experienced.
Definitely over time it has changed.
Very well.
They have the lending institutions like the DFC, we know Atlantic Bank as well have a program especially for empowerment of women-led businesses.
Very well.
And but even though we have those opportunities, the misinformation, you're not getting that information. Some of these women don't even know the banks have this program especially for them.
Got it.
So it is our job to bring that information to them and to help them make the process a bit easier. So now that we have these established relationships with these institutions, they have people just assigned to just us.
Okay.
That you can easily get reach out to them and they will help and give that support that these women need. That is for me one of the biggest problems, the access to information, understanding how you can make it work for you and for your business. Beyond that, having the capacity building, learning about your business. How can you improve your business? How can you keep up with the trends? And the biggest thing is managing the finances. One thing is getting that money, and how do you manage that? How do you make your business sustainable? So this is why we packaged all of this for the Accelerator Potential program, which will be for 3 years. So we'll leave that to Miss Manuela.
Yes. Thank you so much for extending an invitation, Miss Manuela. So let's talk about what are the components of the project, which is Catalyze Her Potential, Fueling Female Entrepreneurship Project in Belize.
Okay, so the first component is the development of a learning management system platform. And on this platform, incubator and accelerator courses are going to be offered. So incubator courses are like what Renelli said, for early stage entrepreneurs, like 3 years or less, who want to learn the basics of business planning and development, foundational skills to help them to operate their business successfully.
Very well.
After the incubator program, we're going to have the accelerator program. And now that focuses more on establishing growth strategies for business, finance readiness, access to networks, mentors, access to investors, industry experts. So it's a little bit more advanced, the accelerator program, and that's going to be offered right after the incubator program.
And so right now, we're in what stage? What were we doing? And how can persons that are listening get excited about what's going to be taking place? We've been waiting for this project. It's here, and we're rolling out.
Okay, so right now we're launching the incubator program. It's an online program, so the application is out. Today is the deadline, April 10th.
Okay, so you have until midnight, right?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
All right, just double check. 11:59.
Right now, it's 7:37 a.m. 7:37 a.m. You have until 11:59 p.m.
Yes, and then something that I think is really important to mention is that after the incubator and the accelerator programs, we're also going to offer workshops all over Belize, especially for women who don't have internet access and access to devices. So these workshops are going to be face-to-face entrepreneurship workshops all over the country. And that's component one. Component two is a mentoring and networking component. So where, a lot of NIME members have expressed the need to have a support group, like a community group, like what Renelli said, to guide them, to give them, some sort of advice, and to give them direct feedback. So networking is going to be huge in the second component. And then when they take the accelerator program, all of them are going to have access to a mentor who can help them develop their business. So it's pretty exciting.
I love it. I love it.
So in the case somebody, for some reason, I don't know what happened, they missed this registration. How are they still able to connect with this project at a later point in time? Is there anything in that place for them?
Yes, they can sign up to be a NIME member, and there's always lots of boot camps and trainings as well being offered outside of the project. But yeah, so it's just an amazing opportunity for them. And then after the incubator and the accelerator program, we're going to have the workshops as well, and it's very exciting.
All right, so let's talk about today is a deadline for registration for the incubator component of this project. What are the requirements for people to register to this program? And if you could help people, make a successful application, what would that take?
Well, the application is pretty straightforward, right? We invite women-led businesses. This is the most frequently asked question. What if I just have an idea for a business? We welcome you as well. Because we will help you develop that from idea phase straight into formalizing, and you get together with paired up with a mentor, because once you've done the accelerator program, you qualify to advance incubator program. You qualify to continue on to the accelerator program. And I must stress that when you finish that, there will be an ending to that phase that leads into a pitch, and then you potential for funding or being paired with one of these financial institutions.
Oh wow, nice. So this is definitely the opportunity people want to get. And like you said, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have the full-on business. You can have an idea, and this is something you really want to materialize.
Yes.
So in that aspect, when you're sending in, what are the big requirements for the most part? And I'm going to ask Ms. Manuela to maybe help me out with this one. What are somebody's listening and are like, I have till tonight. Can I still make an application if I have till tonight? What would more or less I need to send in?
What are some keywords that you're looking for?
Okay, so it's for women-led businesses, females. I mean, young women can apply as well. 3 years or less, early stage entrepreneurs. So been in business 3 years or less. Even if it's just an idea and they want to start a business, they're still, welcome to apply. One of the things that we're looking for is for women to be committed to the entire incubator program, to take all the courses and to commit to a certain number of hours each week. The training is going to be self-paced, so they can go online anytime, but the instructors are going to check in with them 1 hour a week for, like a live check-in with the group, just to ensure engagement and answer questions, etc. So commitment definitely is something that we look for. Access to internet, access to a device, with focus on rural areas, but not necessarily, like everybody is going to be from a rural area. So it's open nationwide to entrepreneurs all over the country.
Excellent. And so for persons right now, where can they go for the registration link and everything to be able to sign up?
The application form is on the nimebelize.org website. There is a page on that website called Catalyze Her. The entire application form is there, as well as more information about the project.
Excellent.
And also they can go, I see it on Nima Belize Facebook page, right?
Yes,
It's
it
also
is
available.
on the Facebook page and the Instagram page. And then on the flyer as well, there are emails that if you have any questions, you can email us, or there's also a number provided there. We're all available to help throughout the registration process. You know, like I always say, it's an investment for yourself and the business. So like Manola said, we ask for a lot of commitment, but have in mind that it is an investment for your growth, personal growth, and also for the betterment and the most like sustainable success of your business.
That is true. So for anybody that's tuned in today and saying, universe, I need a sign for me to tap into this scale that I've been contemplating for years and I want to get going, this is your sign, folks. This is the opportunity for you to apply for the opportunity to get mentoring, you know, like education, for you to like know how to grow your business, and the opportunity to get a seed grant is like, wow. And join a network of women, leadership, you know? It's
leadership, gender equity. So we have all of this packed into this great project. And also being an IME member. There's the project and also the all year round being an IME member. We have a registration open as well, and it is all year round.
Okay.
We have a small fee of $60 for the entire year.
Okay.
And please, like, feel free to access the Facebook, the Instagram page. We also have the registration link on our website, which is nimebelize.org.
Very well.
Excellent.
Very well.
So I'm hoping that women take heed, share it with the next woman too as well, and let's make sure that we can register tonight, guys, 8:59. But please make it be like Crofi and make we go leave it earlier, because the next thing you know, the internet.
Yes, that happens too.
Imagine the internet, the data start a couple something and boom, bam, bam. You can't make it in time. So please, I beg you, be on time. Today is the last call for it. Thank you so much, ladies, for being on.
Thank you so much for joining us.
And for allowing people to have this opportunity, for working so hard to make sure that this is presentable for persons out there.
Yeah, congratulations on the launch of your
Yes.
project. We wish you all the best. Future invitation for you to join us. Let us know who are some of your beneficiaries. Let's talk about their projects. Of course, Sunup on 7 is a great platform for them to come and amplify, you know, what they're doing. So you have a future invitation for you to join us on our couch again, and let's continue talking about this project. Yeah.
Yeah. And with that, guys, we're going to go to our next commercial break, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Yes.
These charter mints aren't
We're navigating along the coastline.
This morning, the 2023
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Shireen Khalsil,
And here's what's ahead for you on 7 News Tonight. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indra Craig.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
In Belize, some things aren't explained. They're passed down. Not because they're tradition, but because they've proven they work. When you work hard for what you have, you learn to protect it. And when the time comes, you pass that responsibility forward. Every generation faces new beginnings, but the choices that matter most are built on trust. For decades, Belizean families have relied on one place to protect their homes, their vehicles, and the lives they're building. When trust is passed down, you know it's been earned. For Belizean families, that trust has a name. RF&G Insurance. It pays to get it right.
In the heart of Belize, a battle is being waged, not with weapons, but with choices. When waste is disposed of in unauthorized locations, in our forests, drains, and waterways, along our highways, and in vacant lots, this is illegal dumping. The consequences reach far beyond what we see. Toxic chemicals seep into our groundwater, threatening our drinking water. Disease-carrying mosquitoes breed in abandoned tires, and wildlife mistake our waste for food. For over a decade, the Department of Environment has worked tirelessly to clean up these sites. But they can't do it alone. They need your help. And now, taking action is easier than ever. Download the ArcGIS Survey 123 app to your phone. You can report illegal dump sites. The app records the location, allows you to add photos. Simply open the app, allow location access, fill in basic details about the site, add a photo, and submit. Your report helps us protect our communities and natural resources. Every report matters. Every action counts. Stand proud in protecting our nation. Our Belize, our responsibility. Bini.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corozal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to your Friday episode. Just before the commercial break, we had a great conversation with Nima talking about Catalyze, her potential project. There's a registration that closes tonight at 11:59 p.m. So, of course, you can go back and watch our Facebook recorded live to know what that was about. We move on to our next exciting conversation. We continue with empowering women. And Ahmadiyya has an amazing, amazing conference coming up. To give us all these details, we're joined by Stephen Galvin on our couch. Stephen, good morning.
Good morning.
How is your energy this Friday from 1 to 10? 10 being the highest.
Excitement 10. Energy.
I was just gonna say energy because of all the planning, and you should know this too.
Yeah.
All the planning going up to any conference is like so much moving things, and it's like you want to make sure it be the best it can be.
Yeah.
So
what is it? A 7, an 8?
the energy level.
4 or 5.
5. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for showing up today with your 4 or 5 energy. And I'm saying this because, like Renata shared earlier in the morning, you know, like I'm not feeling to my 100%, but I'm definitely being here.
Yeah.
And I think that's great on its own. So we thank you so much for accepting our invitation to join us today to talk about this upcoming conference for women that we want to talk about. Yeah.
In all honesty, I'm very appreciative of you giving me your time to be able to speak about this now. The thing is, the Jalsa Salana is definitely a part of Empowering Women because they have their own session that will be at 2 p.m. today.
Okay.
Right. So, and even the women's opposition will be there, and different other women dignitaries.
I saw, yes.
You know, so they're doing their own thing, and We also have our own thing, but it will not be just men. It will be men and women as well. But women, they have their own special one that only women will come, which is 2 p.m. today.
2 p.m. today.
Today.
And I know it's a 2-day conference.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for somebody listening right now, can you roll up more or less like how, if I want to come, when would be the best time, or like what are some of the topics? I know the theme is worship, but in general, worship has a lot of different things underneath it.
So, sorry.
No. I was gonna like, so just let us know like how is the event being rolled out? How the conference is being rolled out for persons?
Okay, so the thing is that today and tomorrow is the conference, right? We will be starting 10:30 a.m. today, and then it will just go up until half day, like 12:30, right? And then the women will have their own from 2 p.m. to, I believe, like 5 p.m.
Gotcha.
However, I would say this, that even if you want to come like 5 o'clock, we might not have like the speeches going on, but we still have like the exhibition area. You can still come and have dinner with us, sit down with us, learn with us. We have games and all of these different things. There will be a kids zone. The jumpy house will still be there afterwards, so you can still bring your kids and, you know, they can have fun, you know. So when we say that, okay, it will be from 10:30 to 4 p.m. tomorrow, because we also have a whole day session tomorrow, it just means that the speeches will be going on at that time, and we will have lunch and everything. But up until like whatever time you want to come, you can come, you know, and you can be amongst people that truly want to have a good relationship with God and a good relationship with His creation, right? That's the reason we're talking about worship, because right now in this life, in this time, it's crazy. You know, like war is happening all over the place, gas going up.
Gas pain, you mean?
I'm not going
gas pain, rent.
So honestly, it's a well-needed situation for us, because it seems like politically right now, it seems that people are pushing this religious war, like Islam versus Christians and Jews and all of these things. But our community wants everyone to know that regardless if the media or anyone is saying that, oh, Islam has this meaning of terrorism and all of these things, Islam is a religion of peace, a religion of love. That is why our motto is love for all and hatred for none. We want everyone to come, regardless if you're Muslim or not Muslim. And as you see, you were talking about the fact that you saw the post that make no excuse. Come. And come as you are, as the Christians say, you know, because all of us are children of God, right? And we want to share the beauty of our religion, and you can share the beauty of your religion with us as well.
Very well.
You know, that's the point of the Jalsa Salana, to create a connection with God and to create a environment of sisterhood and brotherhood.
So, Stephen, I'm seeing that this is the 11th convention that's taking place, and it's Belize's largest Muslim conference. One thing that I'm noticing, which is exciting and I'm curious about, is that they're going to be doing some educational awards.
Yes.
Tell me more about this. You know, who's going to be receiving, not the names, but like who's getting, like, why was it important for awards to be given at this event, and what does that mean for your community movement?
To be honest, like, I wonder if people truly understand how hard it is to top your class, right? I mean, and this is what we're doing for these children here.
Oh, it's children.
Like, so the high school students, right? So, namely, we have Sadie Vernon, Excelsior, Gwen Liz, Canaan, and ACC, right? They accepted the fact that they wanted to, you know, help us award their children, right?
Well.
So we're doing it free of cost. Like, we want them to know that, you know, and the dignitaries will be coming today. So this award ceremony is today. And we wanted to do it in front of the dignitaries to show them that you are important. You are the future of our nation, right? Continue to do the work that you're doing. Do not think that people don't understand how hard it is, and we don't appreciate what you're doing.
Wow.
Right? And so we also extended our invitation to the UB Belize City like the FMAS, they call it, right? So we never say give it to Belmopan because we know they travel too far. Gas high, right?
That's true. Expensive. Bus prices that they go up to and
So,
that thing.
the thing is that that's why I'm trying to make this clear that UB, we want to invite all of you. We want to every single school. To be honest, that's what we want to do. You know, like especially in Belize City, every single high school and tertiary level education people, we want to also like show them that love. You know, because education is very important, and when you work hard, you should be recognized for your hard work.
Wow. Thank you so much for providing that platform for students to be recognized for their achievement. You know, I feel like in a space where like, there's little recognition for like, you know, like your effort that you're putting into like just improving yourself, having this opportunity where they can come and be recognized for that is it's huge. And I'm sure it's going to be life transforming for them. So thank you for creating that space.
And not only the students in schools, but we also do programs with the hostel, right? New Beginnings Hostel. And so those, I work with the young men. So those young men that are actually, you know, showing a bit of effort to change, we're also inviting them over and awarding them for their effort of trying to change themselves. Nice. You know, we also will be going to the prison. This is just an extension of what we're doing because we have guests from outside of Belize that come and they want to know, like, what are you guys doing? Right?
That's true.
And so we try to show them all of the work that we're doing, you know. So, like, we feel truly that every single person, regardless of what they have done, if God can forgive, then we should also be able to forgive. You cannot be believers of God if you cannot try to copy the attributes of God.
Definitely,
right?
Definitely.
And so we go to the prison and we teach them how to read the Holy Quran, which is the Arabic form, right? So they learn how to read it. And they've been putting that effort in because most of them that are in the class are Muslim, and we also we're going to award them as well for their efforts as well. No? So it's honestly like a community. Our community wants to do our best to give back, right? Worship, we believe, comes in two forms. It's not only about staying in the mosque or staying in the church and saying, yes, God, I love you. You cannot show love to God if you don't show that love to His creation, right?
Yeah.
This is not a thing that a true believer does. I cannot say that I love Renata if I don't say that, man, I make her buy some of my clothes or something like that, right? You know, like your husband shows you love by showing you love, right? And showing the things that you love, right? So that's the same thing that we try to do. We have to be believers that actually serve God's creation. And so this is the two forms of worship of God, praying and service to mankind.
Yeah, servanthood is a big aspect of worship, of how you pour it out to others out there. So for persons that are listening right now and they know that, you know, for today it starts at, actually today and tomorrow it starts at 10:30.
Yes. Tomorrow it starts at 10.
10, sorry. So 10:30 today, tomorrow at 10.
Yeah.
They're open. Everybody can come to the morning session from up to lunch, and then I know the afternoon is for women to be able to come and enjoy. And then tomorrow it's everybody, everyone. So
everyone
doesn't matter. Is there an age limit too, or anything along?
We have a kids zone.
So
you can
kids come out
kids
and
come
have
out
a fun time. The kids. Little bunks house is always a fun time.
Yeah, definitely. Have you gone in there?
Are you allowed in it, Renata?
But I was when the women's group did their like expo. I was there. I always try to go and support when I can, and like it's a really nice time, and the women come together. So I know it's gonna be a beautiful community for other women out there this afternoon to join. If you can't make it in the morning, you can make it in the afternoon. Come out, enjoy, hear different conversation, ask questions. It's a time to just connect.
Yes, definitely. We definitely want, and bring the hardest questions that you want. Like whatever question, even if you just want to, like, make us go on about it. No problem. You can come, and there's no form of lateness, right? Just come. Like if you say I can't make it 10, well, come 12. Come whatever time you feel proper for yourself, and you know we are dying to be able to serve you some free food.
Yeah, I said lunch and dinner provided.
Yes, dinner provided.
And
lunch
people love
and dinner
free
provided.
food.
Yes. And so
people love a free food.
Ice people, I take it on fully. But
and actually, it's like some people, the people that are cooking the food are volunteers from outside of the country.
Oh, nice.
So it's those who are Belizean, you know, and you want to taste something different.
Oh,
that's actually what they're cooking right now. You know?
All right.
So
like Kevin could get behind that.
like somati, like kind of like somati, you know, kind of feel, you know.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
All right.
So people have the option. It's completely free.
Definitely.
So literally free food.
Connect with
connect with community and come out. And where is it located again?
We're located 1.5 George Price Highway. So basically beside Lil's Imports and Foam Factory between the two places.
Very
But you could, like people even went in the past and asked if that wedding happened, but they're not a wedding.
It's just a great celebration, yeah.
Yes,
They're not wedding, but that was celebration that happened.
Celebration. Yeah, that's a way to get married to God again.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. Stephen, thank you so much for joining us today to invite our viewers to join you at the Jalsa Salana event. It's the 11th convention you're having. So congratulations for 11 years.
Thank you.
You know, wish you a beautiful event. You know, may everything that you have set forward for this event, you know, manifest itself for you and your community. And folks, with that, we're going to go into our next commercial break.
And we'll be right back, guys. Stay tuned.
In Belize, some things aren't explained. They're passed down. Not because they're tradition, but because they've proven they work. When you work hard for what you have, you learn to protect it. And when the time comes, you pass that responsibility forward. Every generation faces new beginnings, but the choices that matter most are built on trust. For decades, Belizean families have relied on one place to protect their homes, their vehicles, and the lives they're building. When trust is passed down, you know it's been earned. For Belizean families, that trust has a name. RF&G Insurance. It pays to get it right.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corozal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years.
Welcome to the V Department Store. We are conveniently located on Coney Drive in Belize City. That's right on Coney Drive in Belize City. At the V Department Store, we offer a wide variety of groceries, cosmetics, kitchen appliances, kitchenware, electronics, and more. We've also recently expanded to the second floor to better meet your household and office furniture needs. We now have a wide variety of furniture, home decor, and accessories. We have a shared vision for a comfortable and customer-friendly shopping experience. Visit us today and be warmly greeted by our reasonable prices and cordial staff. The V Department Store. Experience the ultimate shopping destination.
These charter mints aren't
We're navigating along the coastline.
This morning, the 2023.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Sheree Kelso, and here's what's ahead for you on 7 News Tonight. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight. Good evening. With your news, I'm Adore Craft.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Wake up to positivity and inspiration. It's a fresh and diverse twist on your mornings. Tune in to Sunup on 7 every weekday morning at 6:30 a.m. right here on your Nation Station, Channel 7. It's the morning show you don't want to miss.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to your Friday episode. We move on straight into our next conversation. Are you ready to learn some swimming classes? Ready to learn how to swim and improve your skills? We have an opportunity here to make an announcement about, and joining us on our couch, we have the president of the Belize Aquatics Federation, Mr. Giovanni Alamia, joining us. Good morning, sir.
Morning, thank
How
you.
is your energy today, 1 to 10? 10 being
Eight,
highest.
eight. I'm at 8, yeah.
Give me a
We
little
just started, so.
You just started. It's 8:08.
I have to wind up, right? if I'm at 10 right now, by 2 o'clock, I'm going to be down to about 3, 4, so I want to make sure by midday,
You work your way up to
work
it.
up and,
I like that.
and steady.
Okay, all right. So it's 8 at 8 a.m. So by
that's right.
10, it's going to be 10.
Yeah, there you go.
Good. I have to let you know that it's my first time hearing about the Belize Aquatics Federation.
Yes, actually, you're not the first person. We're fresh. We're newly recognized by the Belize Olympic Committee. June of last year. It took us almost 3 years to get recognized by World Aquatics, Pan Am Aquatics.
Okay.
And that entailed writing a constitution, having elections, having AGMs, and having an athlete to represent the country. If you don't have an athlete to represent the country at World Championships, then you can't really become recognized.
Okay.
You know, so one of the things that we had to do was get all of that in place, right? So again, like I mentioned, we started probably 3, 4 years ago.
Okay.
And Hugh Stain reached out to me, and he's like, "Oh, I have a family friend that has a daughter that swims. They live in New York, and she wants to participate and represent Belize." I was like, "Sure, no problem. I could help. I could guide you along the way. You know, I have no interest in really being a part of it. My hands are full. You know, I wear many hats, right?" And after the years of working on it, writing the Constitution, doing different things, they're like, "Okay, well, you know what? You've invested enough time. I think you should stay on as president." I thought, "Yes, but I'm not. It's not something that I wanted to do because I don't want anyone to say that, oh, I'm doing this because of me, right?" And Davia's mom really pushes, you know, and she's not only pushing because it's her daughter. She's passionate about Belize.
Right.
She isn't Belizean. Her late husband is Davia's father, right? So that's one of the motivations as well for Davia, is her passion to represent her father's home country.
Very well.
I love that.
Yeah. Well, firstly, congratulations on establishing the Belize Aquatics Federation. We look forward to many more things that are gonna come for it. And right now we're seeing that there's a swim clinic that you are making.
Right. So one of the things again is that Davia reached out and with her mom, and she's like, "Okay, I want to go to Belize. I want to do something here." Right? And again, because of school, you're limited in what she can do. So she's like, "Okay, I want to come down and do a little clinic." And so she brought down her coach, her swim coach, and also her sports psychologist.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Davia,
So,
let's talk about that.
so we have two things that are going on. We started yesterday. Well, actually, when she landed on Wednesday, we went out to the pool, and the hub had some kids there. So she jumped in the pool with them and started swimming with them. Then yesterday, we had some kids, the younger kids in the morning, and then the teenagers in the afternoon, and then the same thing again today. And at the same time, the sports psychologist, he's at the Belize Olympic Committee, and we organized it in a way where it's open to other federations to send their athletes, or even the executives to attend, because we as a country need to start prioritizing mental health, right? And the simple thing, well, I shouldn't say simple, but one of the main things is visualizing when you're competing, right? An example that I used yesterday was, watching TV movies from 20, 30 years ago, you always hear them say, okay, bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, 2 strikes, or 2 seconds left on the shot clock, and they line up and hit the tree. So those are things that they're visualizing throughout their practices, throughout their life as athletes. And that's something that our athletes need to start doing. And they also need to have to understand that you can't always win, right?
Okay.
Right? So you have to be prepared to what happens when you don't come in first.
Yeah, it's part of the process.
It's a process.
It's part of the process.
Sportsmanship they need to learn.
Thank you for giving us a background on how the Belize Aquatics Federation came to be. How did Davia got here? What have been happening over the last couple of days that she's been here with her team. And let's get the opportunity to meet you, Davia. I'm sure Renata is dying to ask you some questions.
Yes, of course. So this is our swimmer, our champion right now that's helping. And I love the idea that you're
Putting Belize on the map. Yeah. Okay.
So David, talk to us about just how it's been thus far coming into Belize and meeting the people from the hub. And of course, I know, you had your first session yesterday and then you have today, which is your final session. How has it been thus far?
Yeah, it's definitely been great. I like meeting kids who are around my age and seeing their love and interest for swimming. And it makes me more motivated to even represent the country even more and do my best.
And what would you say is something that kind of stood out when it comes to learning from them, or what their need to learn? Something that maybe you see that, okay, we don't have the strength in this aspect when it comes to swimming, and it's something you'd want to tap into at a next point in time.
The kids from the hub were really interested in the simple things that I was doing, and it made me appreciate how far I've come in my journey and showing that these kids want to learn more. And even if it's not, since swimming isn't that big here, it's not going to be easy, and it's a slow process, as Mr. G was saying, and it just makes me more interested in wanting to help more and come back to the country as much as possible to show these kids how swimming can really change your life, how it's done for me.
Most definitely, because we don't necessarily, we've talked off air about, we don't necessarily have that culture that people look at swimming as a fundamental thing, that just like how you want to learn to drive, you should learn to swim, but it's really a life skill that literally saves lives completely. And I don't think we necessarily always have that pinpoint on. I mean, people in the Key obviously think about it that way, but sometimes if you're in the rural community, or sometimes even in the urban communities, and you're not necessarily going to swim unless it's Easter time or maybe summer, you're not necessarily thinking about that swimming. So I'd love to give you the mic in that sense, to talk to parents, give a message to parents as to why it's super important to get your child involved in swimming, learning about swimming.
I say this all the time, that swimming is one of the only life-saving sports. And like you said, it's fundamental to know how to drive. When you were a baby, you had to learn how to walk. And that was fundamental in your life skills as well. And my mom wasn't the one who put me into swimming. I kind of put myself into swimming. At my summer day camp when I was younger, we swam twice a day, and that's what kind of started my journey in swimming. So this clinic is also one of the ways to expose swimming in this country, and having even more clinics later on in the years would, I think, definitely help and show parents that this is a really important thing that your kids should learn, or even parents themselves. You can learn swimming at any age. And because if you want to go to the Keys or travel, we're surrounded by a body of water. It's really important to know how to know the basics.
Navigate yourself because you never know what will
Honestly.
happen.
Yeah, I feel like it's very important for parents to also learn how to swim because I feel like often but observation from parents like you put your fears into the kid, right?
Yeah.
And that also like sets a barrier into like your kid being comfortable in the water as well. So parents, I think it would be a great opportunity maybe in the future to like have a swimming session for parents. But at the end of the day, you know, like we have people tuning in and saying it's very important to learn how to swim and learn how to be safe in the water. If you could to tap into that for people that are thinking, you know, why should I learn how to swim and how do I get comfortable in water? Like what would be like one tip for that?
Water safety is huge. I'm also a lifeguard myself,
Okay.
and I'm certified in CPR back home. And, well, one, I think being in the pool or just being in the water is really enjoyable. You know, it helps me calm my mind down sometimes. And learning how to swim also can help you in other aspects. You know, it's really good. It works all the muscles. That's one way to exercise. Swimming is one way to exercise and work all the muscles in the body. And even if you're an athlete on land, you know, a lot of the doctors say, you know, swim like a few times a week to help recover your body and to strengthen your muscles. So it's also beneficial in athletic portions as well.
And for persons that are coming in today, like I know we have today, what are maybe some of the things that they're going to be learning from you and what's going to be the exchange going to look like?
So yesterday we had some kids who are also coming today. So we're also going to add on to that. Also, my coach is here. So my coach is the one also helping run the camp. I'm kind of like the demonstrator, and I also help at the end with like starts and dives. So we're definitely going to add on from what we learned yesterday and to just have some more fun.
Oh, I love that. And so I heard you said that there are going to be more swim camps coming up soon, or at least that's like one of the goals.
Yeah.
Where can people maybe like look for this information if they missed this one and they want to be a part of it for the next time?
Yeah, so we do have the Belize Aquatics Federation Facebook page.
Okay.
And we have the Aquatics Federation of Belize Facebook page as well. So we kind of had to flip it around just to make sure we're securing the name on social media. And unfortunately, someone will try to copy it, and you know. So we will be sharing information there. We have Andrew Gentle. Right? He does swimming. He has his company that they have certified lifeguards, and they do CPR as well. You know, so in some of the photos that you guys have on the screen, those lifeguards are his people. Andrew's in a couple of photos as well. Right. So Andrew, they do private lessons. They do lessons. You know. So that's one of the things that we're trying to tap into. Why try to recreate the wheel? You have this young man that's passionate about swimming, and he's doing different things. So we've already brought him in. Now it's just to bring up his co-workers their level of training, because as World Aquatics you have different levels, right? So then we're looking at more competitive side of it, because that is the end.
That's what I'm wondering, because people are saying that too. They're looking at having more of competitive teams and all of that, getting involved in competition.
Right. So what Andrew is actually doing next weekend in Belmopande, he has a competition. Right. So Saturday he has kids from Belize City, Belmopan, and San Ignacio. They will be competing. Right. So some of those kids that came yesterday are a part of that club that will be going to compete.
I love it.
Right? So again, it's something that, you know, Andrew has really committed to. And I definitely have to give him kudos to it.
People in the chat are giving him kudos because they know about him.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm doing the background work. Marilla, David's mom is doing a lot of the background work. But Andrew is out at the pool literally every day.
Every day.
Either at Biltmore or at Grand Resort, he's there every day, right? So there are little things, like I said, we have to slowly build on. One of the discussions I've been having as well is with Minister Mala, right? Where through World Aquatics, there's funding available to build a pool. Right? But it has to be something that's on government land. It can't be I can't put it on my land if I have a piece of land that's charged, right? Right? But then, again, it has to be an agreement, because then,
of course,
maintaining of a pool.
Yes.
Right? One of the other things that I did as well when we wrote the Constitution was we added the YWCA, the YMCA, and the Belize Coast Guard as members. So they would automatically have a representative on the board.
Wow.
Right? They're around water every day, right? The boat wise, you know, when they do their summer camp, if they announce it today, by tomorrow it's full.
Yeah.
And that's 200-300 kids maybe, right? So those are things, again, that we don't need to recreate the wheel.
That's true. I feel like whenever people think about Belize, I think water.
Yeah.
You know, like it's right there. you
Right,
know?
right,
And so
yeah.
like, again, going back to how water is, you know, for like Davia, like it helps you in many ways, you know, like calms you, like it's a way of like sports and exercise, but it's also like form of our identity and who we are as a people.
Right,
So it's
yeah.
great that the Belize Aquatics Federation is channeling these opportunities for
Yes, and you know, again, with Davia being, a lot of weight is on her shoulders. She's the only international athlete that we have right now.
Yeah.
She has competed
Kudos to you, girl.
in like when we have on the shirt, the Doha 2024 is the first World Championships that she went to. She's been to Singapore and Hungary as well for the World Championships.
Nice.
She represented Belize in the Junior Pan American Games in Paraguay, in Central American Games in Guatemala, right? So she's slowly getting there, and she's making a name for herself. She is winning heats, right? She's making it to the finals in different events, in these heats, in these international racing against, and I have to say, most of the time, she's the youngest.
Yeah.
Right? So she's racing against 23, 24-year-olds. In Guatemala, she was racing about 28-year-olds, 30-year-olds.
Wow.
Right? So the potential is there, the time is there. So we're looking at a long-term investment. Again, it's a lot of pressure on her shoulders.
But she has good
right?
support.
And she has that village.
Yeah.
Right? And that's why we wanted to, again, tie in her sports psychologist, Zach, Honaki. Yeah. Zach Honaki is her sports psychologist. You know, so it's pressure on her, but then we have to balance it.
Yeah, definitely. As we start wrapping up on this conversation, Davia, if you could share with us, like, what's your vision for getting involved in supporting kids with this, getting comfortable in water and getting into swimming? Like, where do you see this going?
My vision would definitely just to let kids know that the support is there for you. You know, a lot of kids might not want to swim just because they're scared of the water, and they might think like they might not have the help or the resources, but the Belize Aquatic Federation is one of the resources. You know, this clinic is a resource, and I just want kids to know that when you learn how to swim, I think you'll really enjoy it, and then you'll start to have more fun, especially doing it with friends, and it would become more of a relaxation rather than being stressed and anxious about getting in the water.
Thank you. 100%. I love that. Yes. Connect with that.
We definitely want
water
that for
baby, I
persons.
connect with that.
And definitely people are saying, please contact Coach Andrew, that he's so patient and he's so passionate. So like for parents out there, definitely contact him, contact the federation, find out exactly when the next swim meet's gonna be, like figure out all of these different things so that we can get our children and adults involved.
Yes. And you know, one of the things that they always say is that you don't want to learn in open water, meaning in the river, in the sea, because you'll be more comfortable in a controlled environment, a pool, right? And you know, in Belize, we don't have many pools, right? If it's there's a pool, then it might be private, or you have to pay to rent to get access to it. So again, that's one of the things I'd mentioned earlier with working with government to be able to get a pool where, yes, you might be able to rent it out for parties or whatever to cover the management of it. You know, but end of the day, if we could get the Ministry of Education and Ministry of Sports to work together to say that, okay, you need to start implementing swimming in school.
That would have been amazing. Right. And then you could pull kids together.
Right.
Cool.
You know, because then I mean, we spoke about it earlier that with how many kids have drowned on school trips, right? And those are things that could have been avoided.
Right.
Hopefully, right? And we had mentioned as well, thank goodness you didn't hear about any kids drowning over the Easter weekend. Because we had years that almost every year someone was drowning. Right?
Yeah. So definitely, there's so many great things that are going to come again from the Belize Aquatics Federation, and we look forward to those. So always an invitation open for you to like join us and give us some updates. Davia, thank you so much for the work and the energy and the effort that you're putting into this
for giving back
swim
to
clinic,
Belize.
connecting with young Belizeans. I'm sure they're having a great time with you.
Yeah.
And we look forward to your next visit also and see how this girls in Belize.
And we're gonna ask you for
Yep.
like a help of the 101, like some of the 101 tips for swimming.
Maybe we can join us in a pool. It would be great to see you Renata in action. Ren, it's also time for us to wrap up the show.
So we definitely want to thank our guests that came in. We were speaking earlier with Nime and talking about the fact that they have the Catalyze for Potential project, that the registration for people that want to be in the incubator is today. The deadline is today at 11:59, but please don't be crufty and do it a little bit earlier. But this is for all women that want to be involved in the program. It doesn't necessarily have to have a business, but an idea and you want to be involved. Check out their Facebook page. They have the flyer and registration up there. And of course, we had the Amadea coming in talking about their convention for today and tomorrow at the mosque. And of course, it's free entry, free lunch, free dinner too as well for you guys to come on and talk about the different themes of worship, and of course, meet and greet and have educational awards that are giving out to hardworking young people that need to be valued and appreciated. And of course, coming in to talk about our swim clinic here that took place yesterday and today, and reminding people how important it is, the fundamental need to have to know to swim. So definitely been a great, fantabulous Friday.
It's hard to believe it's Friday. I have people are saying have a great weekend. I'm like, wait, it's Friday already.
Because Monday was holidays, so everybody done not different. People may think today that I'm Thursday one spill. But it's Friday,
folks. Thank you so much for joining us. It was truly a great show today. Our couch topic was hot. We thank you for your contribution on that, but definitely great conversations with our guests. Folks, as we wrap up, we always like to leave, like a motivational message for today and the weekend. So we're going to invite you to do that. Let's start with you, Davia. What motivational message would you like to leave with our
It doesn't have to be anything
No
long.
pressure. No pressure, right?
Okay.
Maybe a quote that you live by, something that that pushes, fuels you.
Okay, let's hope I get this right. It's from Michael Phelps. It's you can't put a limit on anything. The more you dream, the further you get.
Ooh, I like that. Okay.
I can't beat that.
You can't.
No, I can't. I'll leave it as that. Yes, like hold up the white flag. I surrender.
I surrender. But so you're not gonna do anything.
No,
Gio?
I'm
Gio's
good.
Like,
I'm good. I'm not gonna embarrass myself.
I'm just gonna remind people that as you go out into every space, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's the only way change can really happen in yourself, in your community.
Yeah, and from our couch topic today, I feel like there's a lot of consultations that need to take place, and I just want to remind that your voice is important. That it's very important for you to connect with community and share, what are your needs and advocate for those. Again, we're talking about challenges that are taking place in regards to policing women and stuff. But again, reminding you that your voice has power. Connect with community, and let's make some positive changes happen in our community. And once more, wishing you a safe and enjoyable weekend. We're gonna see you on Monday. Will Jules be serving beef?
I don't know.
I don't know, but there's chicken, just in case.
With that, guys, we say bye.
Bye, folks. We love you. Thank you so much for engaging with us today.
A place to call your home, a place where you can grow. Stand by me and we'll take flight. We'll be there at morning's light. I've got you covered on all concerns we share today. You will discover how the world turns each day. When the sun comes up